Good evening, my amazing fans. Thank you for returning to another episode of Raven Knight's Nostalgia Corner. You are listening to Season 1, Episode 3, Part 2 of Hocus Pocus. Hocus Pocus Continued. For those who don't know me, my name is Raven Knight, and I am your Nostalgia Queen. For those who have tuned in for a returning visit, thank you very much for your patience while I gathered my bearings and took some time to fact check everything. Yes, I said fact check before posting. I wanted to provide you the most accurate information that I physically could, so there was no debate of what could happen. As I stated in part 1, we will be talking about the combination book Hocus Pocus and Hocus Pocus the Sequel. We will be discussing a couple controversies that took place around the time of launch for Hocus Pocus 2 that could have actually hurt the franchise. And I'll be discussing my fan theory for a possible Hocus Pocus 3. So grab those broomsticks and make sure you feed your black cats, and let's get into it. Now, for those who have not seen Hocus Pocus, Hocus Pocus 2, or have read the combo book, please note this has a huge spoiler alert here, okay? I'm going to be revealing a lot of information that is going to probably ruin the book for you. I'm sorry in advance. And even if you've read this book, that was my piece of paper. If you read book 1, the retelling, and you haven't read book 2, I'm sorry if I upset any of you, but I'm giving you fair warning. Spoiler alert! So, the retelling has a revisitation to the original movie. It gives the characters a more in-depth perception for readers to understand better, as well as it has a mild dark tone to it, which I absolutely loved. It was a very good book, and if they launched that book before Hocus Pocus came out, I'm pretty sure Hocus Pocus would have been a huge success. But that's in the past. Now, Hocus Pocus 2 takes place 25 years later after the original Hocus Pocus events. Allison and Max are now Allison and Max Dennison. Yes, they're married. And they have a daughter. The daughter's name? Poppy. A lot of people are probably freaking out right now over that one. The original Hocus Pocus events have become somewhat of a urban legend / folklore in Allison and Max's Salem. And it's probably because people believe it, some people don't, some people just don't care. You know, the usual stuff. But we are introduced to a whole new character. Actually, a new strand of characters. We are introduced to a young girl named Isabella. She's new to town, and when she arrives, she starts inquiring about everything relating to the Sanderson sisters, which leads us into the most weirdest foreshadowing ever, because what you think it's going to be is not what it's going to be. And what you don't think it's going to be, it's going to be, if that makes sense. So, as you read deeper, you find out that there was a fourth and secret Sanderson sister by the name of Elizabeth. Here's the big catch. Plot twist. Isabella is Elizabeth's daughter. So, yes, she is related as a descendant to Winnie, Mary, and Sarah. But she also has magic powers. Now, if you've seen Hocus Pocus 2. Becca, her magic abilities, yeah, Isabella has an exact replica of those powers. She has a best friend named Travis, and obviously she's friends with Poppy. And they use the spirit board to try and communicate with Winifred and the rest of the Sanderson sisters, as in Mary and Sarah. However, as the foreshadowing always tells us, nothing is as it seems, and somebody is tricking her into releasing the Sanderson sisters through the spirit board. For those who don't understand what a spirit board, you know those Ouija boards that have those little triangular pieces you move around and it says yes or no? Yeah, that's your spirit board. um, so, the Sanderson sisters' whole, I guess you could say, plot or plan for the revival this time is they want to not only achieve immortality while body swapping with citizens in Salem. I'll explain that in a sec. But they also want to resurrect all the witches in hell. Forgive me. So when I say body swap, I mean, let's say, for example, Winifred wants to become Allison. And Sarah wants to finally become a boy and be Max. That type of thing. We are going to get a revisitation in this book from a few well-known characters that everybody loves. Thackeray Binks, and Emily Binks, as well as we have Elizabeth, all in ghost form, trying to help Poppy, Travis, and Isabella stop the mayhem being caused by the Sanderson sisters. And when they stop them, it allows the citizens in Salem to go back into the bodies in which they were originally, as well as Danny, Max, and Allison. And they allow them all to return from hell. And that's basically it. But Isabella gives a very strong warning about witches. And it's kind of ironic if you think about it. She says, witches never die. And it's a heavy foreshadow that the Sanderson sisters may return. Well, she wasn't far from the truth there. Winifred is basically still in a different human body. So she technically comes back. And she's in the body of a missing teen that's been missing for a few years. So, and that's how it all ends. I honestly think that would have been a way better thing to portray than the Hocus Pocus 2 that we got, but I still loved the movie Hocus Pocus 2. I thought that was really clever and neat. Now, moving on to the controversies. A lot of you might have heard about this one because it hit every part of social media. It hit every part of the internet and every part of the news. There was a mom around the time of Hocus Pocus 2 coming out by the name of Jamie Gooch. She is known as one of the owners for Gooch Family Farm. And it's out Midwest of the United States somewhere. I think it's in Texas or something like that. Well, she made some very questionable remarks about Hocus Pocus that a lot of people were deeming her mentally unstable for, because she was pushing her beliefs on everybody else, religion wise. And even though there are a lot of people that may agree with her, there are also a lot of people that disagreed with her, and that's fine. I have no problem with that. But she believes that Hocus Pocus 2 should be outlawed and banned because they're casting spells on kids and you don't know what demons are coming through the TV. Excuse me as I laugh. I couldn't resist. I'm sorry. Now, because she made headlines, she wound up basically being mocked by whatever remaining 8 billion people in this world that were not on her side. And basically being told she was nuts. And she was telling people that witches are evil, as well as you don't know if these spells are trying to mentally seduce your children into worshiping Satan. Now, I know this is a very hard subject for a lot of people to hear, and I mean no controversy or hatred, but please understand from people that probably do a lot of research on witches or are witches, there is no affiliation with the devil. It's all hearsay, mumbo jumbo folklore. Please. I understand that everybody has their own beliefs in religion, and I respect that. But just because you believe something doesn't mean somebody else is going to believe it. And trying to make them look crazy because they believe what you don't doesn't make you look any less insane than it already did. In this post with Miss Gooch, she also willingly admitted that her kids are not allowed to celebrate Halloween. At the point in time that this movie was released, her kids had gone on 4 to 5 years without Halloween. And like I said before, she really believes that the spells on Hocus Pocus are real. Need I say more? So that's controversy number 1. Controversy number 2. This one's kind of a hard one for me to talk about because there wasn't a mass load of information on it. It was kind of more like hearsay. So I'm kind of just going off of what I've already seen and read. So please forgive me if there's anything that may upset you. I'm just reading direct statements. So, Bette Midler, around the time that Hocus Pocus 2 had dropped, had made a statement on Twitter regarding women's rights. And a lot of people got upset about this statement because, there are people that took it a different way than it was actually intended. Now, I don't know if she meant it as a, anti-trans comment. I can't say yes and I can't say no because I don't know. But when she was addressing women's rights, she was unfortunately verbally and social justice warrior style attacked by people of the transgender community. At the same time, because Bette Midler is not a transgender herself and does support the LGBTQ plus group for many years, people were kind of ridiculing her for making the statements because she's not trans, which I thought was horribly unfair. I don't think it's right that people should have attacked her before knowing the whole story. And it was later revealed that she commented or made this statement, which I'm trying to pull up for you right now, so give me 2 seconds. So this is the exact post that got Bette Midler, who plays our wonderful Winifred Sanderson, in trouble. It says, "Women of the world, we are being stripped of our rights over our bodies, our lives, and even our name. They don't call us women anymore. They call us birthing people, or menstruators, or even people with... Don't let them erase you. Every human on earth owes you." So that was the comment that she posted on Twitter. And I can see where that could be misconstrued. Do I think it was like an anti-trans thing or transphobic? No, but it does make you question it, and I'll be honest about that. But what is my version of it? I feel like because the Roe versus Wade thing was overturned, was overturned, and people are trying to legalize abortion again, I feel like she, speaking as a woman, was trying to tell us that the government should not be allowed to control our body, or tell us that we're of no worth. I do believe that she meant this with a kind heart and with best intentions and not in a negative view. Now, let's get off that subject because I know it's probably upsetting some people. And keep in mind, folks, I'm a very neutral party. I do not agree that she was right. I do not agree she was wrong. So please do not tell me that, I deserve to be canceled or anything. It's just my honest opinion. And everybody has opinions. They're like hair. Almost everybody has one. Or has them. Hocus Pocus 2. 3, sorry. Now I'm getting a little sidetracked, forgive me. Hocus Pocus 3, if I was to tell you what I think it's going to be about, I think we're going to see a final hurrah for the Sanderson sisters. I don't think we'll see Binks or Emily or Thackeray anymore, unfortunately. I do think we will see Poppy and her friends being introduced to Becca and them from Hocus Pocus 2. And I think what's going to happen is somehow, some way, there's going to be a Halloween celebration in the town common of Salem. Like an outdoor Halloween party, maybe firework display, whatever. And somebody's going to have those smoke fireworks. Like this, I don't want to say smoke bombs, but the smoke cannons. And somehow, some way, what they think is a smoke cannon is actually the black flame candle, like ground up. And it's going to go airborne and start off with maybe like a threatening thunderstorm or something that's going to show something's going wrong. And then you're just going to see every single light go out at once, like poof, 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 kind of like in the first one. And from that point on, you're going to see a mass load of magic being performed. All the lights in the city go back on, and there's the Sanderson sisters. And because nobody believed Allison, Danny, and Max, they're now going to find out this is not a folklore. And I think we're going to be revealed some descendants of the original townsfolk that tried unaliving the Sanderson sisters for many years and succeeded up until the black flame candle was originally lit. We might even get an origin story of how the black flame candle ever came to be in the first place. And let's say, was it made from Winifred's blood? Was it made from her tears? Was it made from her malice? That type of thing. And a little bit of a backstory of Elizabeth and Isabella. I would love to see that. I also hope that we would see one huge battle royale to unalive the Sanderson sisters forever. Like, I mean, full tilt. They're unalived. They take their ashes and basically burn the ashes to make sure there's nothing left. And then throwing the black flame candle in the middle of an ocean or something. I don't know. It would be interesting to see how they would do it. But I do want to see them play off the fact that in Hocus Pocus 2, Winifred tried to redeem herself. And maybe, with all due respect to Kathy Najimy and Sarah Jessica Parker, I love your characters, but I feel like Winifred's a little more meant to be intimidating on her solo, like as a solo character. And maybe Sarah and Mary got their heavenly ever after, where Winifred's kind of not. I'm sorry, that's not a great explanation. But I feel like Winifred should be forced to spend eternity walking amongst the humans if, she can't redeem herself and be completely stripped of her powers altogether. Forced to live the human life for the rest of her life, just like she did with that Great Binks as a cat. It'd be interesting to see how the tables turn. There's multiple ways they would go about it. And I would hope that Isabella would realize that her descendants, by affiliation, would make her a very dangerous individual as well. And maybe they could even end it with her surrendering her powers. Or, even better, she works at Crowhaven Magic Shop or Hex, two of Salem's best magic shops, because she wants to try and be good and stay away from the drama that was her family, the Sanderson sisters. I don't know, it'd be interesting. I don't really have a hardcore theory of how it would work. I would just hope that it's not more fan fiction-y style writing, and it's got a decent writing like the first two. That would make me very happy. And I hope they release it soon, just to kind of, say, hey, Jamie Gooch, ha! We're on part 3. I'm sorry. That was a little mean. But, yeah. So, thank you for tuning in, everybody. I truly appreciate you listening in. I hope to see you very, very soon. And I will be back in about a week with season 1, episode 4. Stay happy, stay healthy, and don't forget, love always. Bye!